Do you ever get the feeling that things are not clicking between you and a coworker? You have the best of intentions, but somehow communication is not working. The problem is you may be speaking the wrong language to your coworker. It's kind of like this. If I spoke French and told my wife 1,000 times, I love you, I love you, I love you, but she only spoke German, we would miss each other. I would have the right words, the right intentions, but no communication. A similar thing happens in a work environment. There are what I call 5 work languages spoken by coworkers. They're all good languages, but each person on your staff has a preferred language. If you will talk their language, speak that to them, you'll get more motivation, more cooperation than ever before. The first language is the language of respect. Respect. Of course, Rodney Dangerfield talked the most about that. I loved his definition. He said he knew there'd be no respect in his marriage. Knew that on the wedding day, when his wife said he couldn't be in the wedding photographs, it's a lack of respect. One of the ways you show respect is make sure you keep your promises. Out in North Carolina, a place called Center for Creative Leadership, they do some fine research. They discovered this. They looked at 21 executives who had climbed the corporate ladder, almost the top. Then they were forced to quit, kicked out of the company, called derailed executives. They said, what made them not make it to the top? They found only one characteristic they all had in common, and that was they did not keep their promises. Whereas the arrivers who made it to the top were the folks who said, in effect, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it. I'm reliable, dependable. Keep your promises. If you tell some coworker, I'll look into it, I'll get back to you, you just made a promise. And whether right or wrong, employees do keep score. Doesn't work well to go back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, I got busy. Doesn't show respect. The second language that some people prefer the most, I call it belonging. They want to fit in, be part of the team, they belong. One of the ways you do that, meet that need, is show genuine interest. I suppose the first book written in the modern era on management, leadership, communication would be Dale Carnegie on how to win friends and influence people. Carnegie makes a profound statement. He says you can make more friends in 2 weeks by showing interest in others than you can in 2 years trying to get others interested in you. He said people are somewhat selfish, somewhat self-focused. If you show interest in them, they'll show interest in you, your projects. So when you talk to your people, talk more than just the weather or their job. Show interest in them, the individual, the person. A third language, communication. And even though some employees might say, hate all those meetings, memos, and emails, hate all that, there are many employees who hate it more, not knowing what's happening. The way you bring this about, meet this need, is keep them fully informed. In one study by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, they asked 5,000 managers this question. Here are 10 factors we think are important for employee morale and productivity. Would you please rank them? What's number 1, most important, down through 10, least important? They told us number 9, the managers, one of the least important things to do with your employees was to keep them fully informed. We said, thank you, that's very interesting. We then asked the 50,000 employees managed by the 5,000 managers. Gave them the same quiz. Here are 10 factors for employee morale, productivity. You're the employees. Tell us what's number 1, most important, down through 10, least important. You might guess what the employees said. They said number 2 was keeping them fully informed. They want no surprises, want to know what is happening. When I lecture or teach in Japan, one of my Japanese professor colleagues, Dr. Shibutani, came to the U.S. Look at the way we happen to communicate. Wrote a big report, end of which he wrote this sentence. You better keep your employees informed, or they'll make it up and it won't be flattering. I think he's right. The fourth language that some employees prefer the most is fun. And even though some employees might say, I'll never get rich at my job, don't have the biggest income, but I love it, enjoy my job. Give those folks who need some fun in the job something repetitious, mindless, boring, and you lose some of their productivity. As I've said in other seminars, the number one job complaint is you can do 100 things right and not hear a darn thing about it. But the number two job complaint is the fun is gone. We keep hearing about lean and mean. Well, sometimes lean is simply mean. I'm not talking about spending hours goofing off, but a few moments here, maybe bringing in treats, a joke there, putting some fun in the workplace. I like the way Southwest Airlines has done that. They don't have better planes, better foods. Learn to make things a bit more fun. Getting on a plane one time, the flight attendant makes this announcement. Said there may be 50 ways to leave your lover, but only 2 ways to leave this plane. Please pay attention to safety announcements. We all paid attention. Put some fun in the job. And number 5, the last language, tangibles. To do that, obviously the pay, security benefits are tangible items. You may have no control over that, but you can give them unexpected acts of service when you wow them. In your leadership style, your management caring, they give back more than ever before. Take a look at stores like Nordstrom's. They've mastered this. They wow their customers with all kinds of service never quite expected. Do more than people expect and get more results than ever. So you say you're just not clicking with certain people? Then your first step is to figure out the other person's language and use that language when you're talking to them.